Well, Western society has a lot to feel humble about these days, but perhaps the most shameful thing we've done in recent years is pretty much abandoning significant protections for children on the internet. I know you'll point to promises made here and there by social media companies or questionable actions by government that purport to help, but all in all, we've quite simply been failing on this measure. For example, as recently reported by CBC, two men have been arrested and charged with running an international child exploitation enterprise known as 764 that targets vulnerable minors online and coerces them to self-harm, make child sexual abuse material of themselves, and participate in violent acts, including animal abuse and even suicide. To join, potential members had to share content including child sexual abuse or self-harm, and the 764 group provided a guide for how to target and groom vulnerable kids. To make things even worse, some of the members of 764 are minors themselves, and the group has been forging alliances with other violent groups, promoting mass attacks, targeted killings, and leading to multiple murders. And even if we could get rid of these criminals targeting children via chats online, we'd still have so much other harmful material to deal with. For example, Wired just reported about the YouTube channel GoCat, which describes itself as a fun and exciting channel for kids. With almost 25,000 subscribers and over 7 million views, its content includes cartoon cats and minions being eaten, beaten, starved, and sexualized. Remember 2017's Elsa Gate? YouTube videos aimed at kids with characters from Frozen, Spider-Man, and Peppa Pig involved in sexual and abusive situations? Well, AI has definitely made this even worse with the ability for even the most talentless monsters out there to create horrible videos. Now, YouTube does at times address these issues, and it looks like the GoCat channel has been taken down, but the rising tide of new disturbing content just keeps on coming. So what can we do about this? Well, the first line of defense is parenting, a responsibility that's been made more difficult by other parents, peers, and even governments, making it harder than ever for parents to assert their right to know what's going on in their children's lives. Regardless, renewed vigilance by parents in terms of being aware of what their kids are doing online is likely the most powerful tool we have in our arsenals right now. Next, we've got the social media platforms, who have no real financial incentives to do anything about this, given how many parents are as addicted to social media as their kids, and most threats to abandon platforms that don't do enough to protect kids have been shown to be pretty hollow. Finally, government. Unfortunately, a great number of people in government don't understand the depth of these issues, and they may have their focus diluted by other legitimately important things. But at the end of the day, all government can try to do is to make the platforms that allow this kind of heinous activity address it themselves. So we're caught in a circle, a horrible circle. Parents are too timid about their own rights relative to their children, and so look to the government. Government is too distracted and usually too technically naive to get social media platforms to change in significant ways. And social media platforms make too much money to want to tinker with things, with some of them using that very money in turn to influence government. This is usually the part where I try to present a better solution to the problem, but there frankly isn't one. At the end of the day, the people who really cares what happens to kids are parents of those kids, and there's nobody who's going to step in to relieve us of this very challenging duty. So keep pushing social media platforms to change. Keep pushing governments to make those social media platforms change. But remember that there is no one who can protect your child from these nightmarish scenarios better than you. So be strong, be prepared for some uncomfortable conversation with your kids, but know you're doing the right thing.